Hi everybody, I'm back with part 2 of our full book colour along. This is the second page in R.J.Hampson's Awake book that we are doing, and this one is called Lessons. And as always, I've printed mine out on some Transitype perfect colouring paper. There are a few splodges from my printer. I have got a bit of a dodgy printer, but it's okay. And I have my little sheet here behind my protective sheet for when I'm using my alcohol markers. And I am using my Ohuhu markers today, but you guys can use anything you like. So let's jump in. What am I going to start with? I guess I'm going to start with my bunnies, I think, because I know what colour I'm going to do them, and I'm not sure about everything else. So for my bunnies, I am using YR209 and E280. So I think last time I said that if we do this book one a week every day for the next kind of year, we'll have it finished. But I think I may have made it sound like if we would get it finished by the end of this year. So I wanted to clarify that. Obviously there are 50 pages, so if we do one a week, it'll be at the end of probably the end of July, I guess, by the time we get it done. So yeah, I just wanted to clarify, make sure that you realize what I meant, and didn't think that we would have a completed book by the end of this year, as in December. But it'll be fun either way, so hopefully it will work out. So I'm just kind of, as always, laying in my darkest colour first, adding my shadows where I want them to go, and then I will go in with my lighter colour and blend out. Now these two colours are slightly different. They come from different colour families. So I don't know if you know, but the letters on the caps stand for different things. So YR is yellow red, I believe, and E is earth colour. So yellow red, I think it's yellow red. So it's kind of like more like an orangey colour family, and E is normally the browns, so like earthy colours. So they do come from different colour families, but I thought that they worked quite nicely together. I wanted my bunnies to be this kind of pale, soft, creamy brown colour. I couldn't find the exact colour that I would normally use. So normally I'm really used to colouring with my Copic markers. So I know exactly what colours I would use in my Copics, which are the E50s for bunnies. So I used to do a lot of card making, and as part of that I would stamp images and then use my Copic markers to colour them in. And a lot of the images I used were kind of like cutesy critters, so I got kind of comfortable colouring those sorts of things and knew exactly what colours I wanted to use for them with my Copic markers. Now of course I am doing more adult colouring style things, so and using my Ohuhu markers. So I'm not I'm not so sure with these ones, but I think this colour combination works quite nicely for these cute little bunnies sitting in school. It's nearly school time again. My kids are not looking forward to going back to school after the big summer holiday. They have had a lovely time, and yeah, it's going to be strange for them going back. It's going to be strange for me as well. It's kind of like, yeah, it's weird getting back into the routine of things after you've been on holiday and kind of just enjoying yourself a little bit. It's kind of hard to go back and get back to normal. Okay, that's my first bunny done. Let's do the other ones. So obviously this one is facing the back. So my light source is coming from here, so I have to kind of think about where I'm putting my shadows. I always tend to do a light source that comes from the top right hand side. I don't know why. It's just always kind of what I'm used to doing. But yeah, you can change it around and do it however you like. It's just normally what I do. Sometimes I do it directly overhead, but generally, for some reason, I always have it coming from the top right. And I think that's the way I've gotten used to colouring things, so that I know exactly where my shadows are supposed to go. Okay, I'm just going to pause there for a sec. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, sorry about that, I'm back. I cut my finger this morning, my little finger, right on the joint, and it just will not stop bleeding, so I have to keep pressure on it because it's driving me nuts. Okay, so I'm just going to go over this guy again. I just feel like he's a little bit too pale. Just going over exactly the same as what I did before. So this lighter marker, you can see it kind of bleeds some of the colour out as you apply it over the darker colour. That's because it's quite a bit darker than the dark colour, so that's kind of to be expected. Okay, I'm presuming this is his neck, because I don't think these shirts have collars, so I'm presuming that's his neck. So I'm going to add actually, just go in with the darker colour there. And then his little arms. Haven't decided what I'm going to do about the tails yet. I'm going to leave them for a bit and see what takes my fancy with the tails. Okay, it's my second little bunny done. Let's do the third guy here. Again, I still always have to think about where the light is coming from so that I get it in the right way. So this guy is going to have the front of his face more in shadow. And so it's just really simple, easy colouring, and that's what this kind of series is going to be all about, is just doing some really simple, fun colouring. Doesn't take any time, and just is enjoyable. Most colouring is enjoyable anyway, isn't it? But do you know what I mean? It's just like really simple, quick and easy. I just thought that would be kind of fun. And you get a really nice picture at the end of it, a really nice result. Okay, so I'm just going to go over this guy again. I might add a bit more shading around the front there, make that bit a little bit darker. Sometimes applying 2 coats just gives it a little bit of extra oomph that the one coat doesn't quite manage to achieve. And I just do little bits and sections so that I don't do the whole rabbit and all in one go. I'm just doing like his face to begin with. Then I'll go and do the rest of his body. And I just do it in sections like that because it allows the marker to saturate the paper and keep the paper nice and wet so that your markers can blend a little bit easier. Okay. And the other thing to remember is that you should always kind of like swatch your markers out, because sometimes they will dry a different color than what they initially go down like. So when they dry off, they look a little bit different. So it always pays to have a good swatch chart and know exactly what your colors are going to look like once they're dry. And of course you can test colors and see which ones are going to blend together nicely and that sort of thing. Okay, so that's the little bunnies done. Next up, I'm going to go and do their little ears. So I have R21 and YR030 for that. So I'm just going to add a little bit of the darker marker at the base of their little ears. And I'm going to do a little bit on their noses as well. So cute. Oh, wrong end. I don't know what I'm going to do about their eyes yet. Not sure whether to go black or brown. I'm not sure if black is going to pop too much, but we'll wait and see. Okay, so let's do, I'm going to do the tree next. So I have some browns here. I have Y13, YR92 and E310 for my browns. Make sure I've got them all going the right way. Okay. So with my tree again, this is a really dark brown, so I'm just kind of using it pretty sparingly to add some shadow. And again, putting my shadow on the left-hand side because my light source is coming from the right. Okay, I'll go in with the next darkest marker. I'm going to try and leave a little bit of space down the side there, especially in those thin bits. Doesn't matter if I don't leave a huge amount, but leave a little bit there. I'm assuming he's close enough to cast a shadow on the tree with his ear. And just extend those branches out a bit. And then finally in with the E310 to finish off. And it gets a bit thin up here, so I've gone out of the lines a little bit. I'm not going to stress too much about that because when I go in with my other colours, it'll push that brown out of it. I'm just going over the part that I've already coloured so that I can blend out, so you get a nice smooth blend. So just go over the edge of the line of colour that you've already laid down. And I'm not going to add any other details because the artist R.J.Hampson has already drawn in some lines on the tree, and I'm not going to add anything else with my marker. I'm just keeping it really simple. Okay, let's do that branch. Oh, I forgot to do that bit of my tree. Let's do that. That's a little bit of the branch. Okay, I'm going to do this bit of the branch now. So I'm laying my shadow in at the bottom and again to the left. Okay, so that's my branch done. I'm going to do my acorn as well. I'm going to do the top of my acorn in the same browns that I've used there. It's only a very small area, so we don't need a huge amount of colour. And then I'm going to do the base of my acorn in the same colours that I used for my bunny rabbits. So YR209 and E280. This way I don't have to bring in loads and loads of different colours. I can just keep it fairly simple. Okay, next up, let's do some of the leaves. So I've got a nice bright yellowy green combination here. I've got GY3, GY4 and GY7. I just thought the bright kind of yellowish greens were quite nice and kind of could give like either a summer feel or a bit more of an autumnal feel if they're moving into autumn, maybe the start of school. The leaves are just starting to change. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. I just thought it was fun. I'm going to add that in there. And just being quite messy. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like I say, this is all about being quick and easy and just having a bit of fun. Oops, I'm banging my camera, sorry. Okay, so that's my leaves done. Quick and easy. Now I'm going to use the same green and I'm going to colour their t-shirts in this green. I just thought it would be well, kind of fun, and I think because they're at school, they've got a little bit of a school uniform. And it adds a nice bright pop of color to the page, because I'm going to be using a lot of browns on this page. So I wanted to add some nice bright colors as well. This one I'm just kind of adding the shadow all the way around the edge. Just really working in to the other colors to make sure it all blends out nicely. And finally this guy, he's got a bit of a tubby little belly on him. He's kind of cute though. Where are we going to put the shadow here? Kind of a bit like that, I think. I'm no expert, by the way. I'm not an artist, so I don't always get things right. I try and work so that I know kind of where my light sources are and that sort of thing, but sometimes I completely mess up and get it all around the wrong way. That's okay, because it's just a bit of fun. Okay, that's their t-shirts done. I'm now going to pull out some oranges. So I have YR190, YR170 and YR240. And I'm going to use these to do my little carrots here. Now, because these are like drawn on the blackboard, I'm going to do them in kind of like having the light from the opposite side, because it doesn't really matter on the blackboard. And then I'm going to do their little shorts in this color combination, because I thought that would look kind of cute and makes a nice contrast with the green. I used a bit much of the dark color there, but you can kind of push it out a little bit. There we go. I'm going to do this guy just like that. Such a cute little picture. I just love R.J.Hampson's illustrations, and these ones are so fun and so cute and so easy, just quick and easy. Okay. Tiny little bit of space there for the lightest color. Okay, so while I've got my oranges out, I'm going to do the beak and feet of my owl. I might even do his eyes as well. Not 100% sure yet. Let's do these bits first. My son is really into birds, and he likes to tell me all sorts of facts about them. But his favorite bird is a kiwi, because I'm from New Zealand, so he is kind of obsessed with kiwis. And I have to admit, they are super cute birds. I'm not sure what those little circles are under his feet. Is that the back of his claw? I think that's what it is, isn't it? I think that's the back of his claw. I'm going to do it like the back of his claw. Like the one that's coming from behind to hold the branch. I think that's what it is. That's what I'm going with. Hopefully it's right. He has got little claws on the bottom of his feet as well. I'm going to leave them white for now. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and do his eyes in this color as well. Owls often have kind of yellowish, orangey eyes, so let's see if it works. So I thought for a while about what colour to do my owl. I went through a range of different colours. I thought I could do him or her pink. I thought I could do him or her purple, blue. I went through just about every colour in the rainbow. And I'm still not 100% sure what I want to do. I'm also thinking brown and just going like more traditional. I could of course do like a snowy owl. I don't know. I really don't know. Okay, I'm gonna pause on the owl for a minute. Let's do these little leaves on my carrots, which are the same colours that I used for the other greens. Okay, I'm going to do the wooden frame of my blackboard here and the kind of top part of the duster. It's really old school, this, isn't it? A duster and chalk. I vaguely remember that from school. Showing my age there. Just adding a little bit of darker colour down that left side. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'll pop in some of the lighter shade there as well. Okay, because it's a blackboard, I'm going to colour it in black because it's definitely a blackboard, it's got chalk. So I'm going to use GG9 and GG5 for that. I wanted to go kind of grey greens rather than like normal greens, because a blackboard, it normally has that kind of funny greenish colour. Really, it's not really black, is it? They're normally kind of that green, but I couldn't find anything that looked like the right colour to use, so I figured the grey greens would work. I'm hoping they'll work. Just going to add a bit of shading to the bottom and to the left hand side, because I'm only using two colours. I'm going quite far in with that darkest colour. Oops, wrong end. And then I'll blend out with this lighter one. So again, just working over the edge, going carefully around my little carrots here. And what I'll do with the writing, like the plus sign and the equal sign, is I will go over those with white gel pen so that they look like white chalk on the blackboard and they don't get lost. So just going around those a bit carefully. I'm going to come down here and blend this bit out before it dries out too much. Just go over that edge a little bit, a couple of times. And I could always use the chisel nib end, but I do just prefer the brush tip, even though I'm doing a larger area. It's just, I've got it open, so I might as well use that. And if you find you kind of get any streaky bits, just go over it a couple of times, it will smooth out. I'm going to go over that edge again a little bit more, just to really work that colour and get that nice blend. Okay, so there's my blackboard. Kind of like that it looks a little bit patchy because it's probably got some chalk dust on it anyway, isn't it? Okay, my owl. Do I go brown and use the same browns, like a dark brown and a light brown? I guess I should, because I've got them out. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to use those same dark browns, that Y13, YR92 and E310. I'm going to use them just because I've already got them out, so I might as well. And rather than bringing in another color to the page, I'll just keep it all looking nice and cohesive with those same colors. So just kind of, again, trying to think about where those shadows are going to be. A bit like that. Leave a nice bit at the top of his head. I might just bring that second middle color all the way up here and just leave the lighter color for the very top of his head. Okay. He's a very dark owl. Right, let's have a look. Let's do his wing. So again, I'm gonna add that shadow onto the left-hand side and kind of emphasize that little bit of wing there as well. You could do something with, actually, should we do that? Do a little bit of shading on this kind of hatched area here. So just underneath each of the points, I'll use that darkest color. And I'm going to blend this out with the next lightest. And just emphasize that little bit of wing. And we can blend these out a little bit. And then let's go in with our lightest color. Okay, let's do his other wing. Sorry, it's got really dark all of a sudden here. I don't know why. We're gonna add that in there, and this has kind of got little layers. So we're gonna, again, we're gonna kind of emphasize those feather bits. Like so. And go in with our next color. And finally our lightest. Okay, I think I'm going to do these. Do I do these parts darker or that part? I think I'm going to do those parts, the darker part. Don't know. Do I do the center bit darker? Maybe we'll do that. We'll go with the center bit. I'm not sure whether it's meant to be the other parts, but let's go with this. Under that branch there. It doesn't really matter anyway, does it? That's all fun. Okay. Now I'm going to use those lighter 2 brown shades to do the rest of them. So the YR209 and the E280. Sorry, is that focusing? You have to excuse my nails at the moment. I've had a nightmare. So when I went on holiday, I did a lot of swimming and they got really, really dry and my hands got really dry. And I ended up having all of my nails break and they're just in a bit of a mess at the moment. I need a bit of TLC. But it's gonna have to wait a bit longer. I'm back at work now and there's just not enough hours in the day for everything that I want to do. So, okay, let's blend that out. I think that looks all right. I'm kind of glad I didn't add a different color in there. I think it would look quite cool as well, but I'm kind of glad I just have a fairly limited palette. I always find that my pages with limited color palettes tend to look the best. I don't know why. It's just, if I add too many colors to a page, it gets a bit busy. Sometimes it's cool, like if you've got a rainbow or something, but yeah, I do find that I like limited color palettes better. Okay. So let me know what you think about this series of mine that I'm doing as well. I'd love to know if you're enjoying it, if you think it's a good idea. I don't know. I was in two minds about doing something like this because I felt like it's a really, you know, they are really simple coloring pages. But also I just find that, you know, sometimes the simple ones are you're just like, because you can relax and enjoy them and not stress too much about how they're going to turn out and just kind of have fun with it. Sometimes they can be the best ones. So yeah, I thought it was kind of fun. And I just wanted to do, because I'm not very experienced at doing color alongs or anything, I wanted to kind of ease myself into doing stuff like this with the things that I felt more comfortable with and more confident about doing. Like I say, I used to have, I do still have a card making channel, but I don't actually post anything on it anymore because my life has become all about colouring, and so my card making has fallen by the wayside. So I did do quite a bit of colouring on camera with my card making, and I always used alcohol markers, like I say, when I coloured my images with that. So I kind of feel a little bit more comfortable doing alcohol marker work. So that's why I thought this was kind of fun. Okay, I'm just going to emphasize those little things there a little bit more with a bit of a darker shade. Okay, I think that's okay. Right, just have a couple more little bits. I'm going to pause there while I grab out another colour. Hold on a sec. Okay, I'm back and I've turned my lamp on. I just felt like it was getting really dark, so I hope that's okay and it's not affecting the lighting too much. I'm just going to finish off with some CG020, which is a very, very pale grey, and I'm just going to add a touch of it around my bunny's tails, just kind of trying to emphasize their little fluffiness of it. That makes sense. And then just a little touch on the bottom of my duster here and on my chalk, and a bit of chalk. It's not going to make a huge amount of difference, but I don't know, I know it's there. Now his little talons, I'm going to use the lightest of those orange markers, which is YR240, to just add a touch of that to the ends of his little talons here. And I forgot to colour that one in, just as I pull that out. Okay, and then that's pretty much all the colouring done. I need to think about their eyes. I think I'm going to go in with my YR92 to do their eyes. I don't want to go ultra dark, and I might add a little bit of a white dot in them with a gel pen, just so they don't look quite so starey. Okay, so time for the white gel pen. I'm using my Sakura Jelly Roll in the size 10. I like this one for kind of marker-based projects. So I'm going to add a little touch to my leaves. And kind of this white gel pen stage is really kind of just do what feels good. There's no rhyme or reason. I'm always a bit nervous about putting gel pen on stuff because I feel like I'm going to mess it up. But for the most part, it just kind of adds a little touch of something to the page. So I kind of try and do it all the time just because it, I don't know, kind of brings the page to life a little bit more. I'm going to add some to the branch here. We're going to add some, I'm always scared I'm going to kind of smudge everything that I've already just put down as well. So I have to try and be a little bit careful. Okay, let's think about, I'm going to add a dot to his eyes there. I just went out the line a little bit, so I messed that up a little bit, but I think it's okay. I can go with a dark pen. Okay, let's do the top of his head. And let's do his wing. Emphasizing all of those little feathers there. Let's do the blackboard. Not that blackboards are shiny, because they're not, but it just adds a little bit of interest. We're going to do these plus mark and the equals sign to make them look like they've been done in chalk. Let's do a little bit on his tail here. And on this side of his wing. I'm going to turn this. Sorry, I know it's annoying, but I just don't want to smudge all the other stuff that I've already done. Okay, let's do this guy's ear. And around his little cheek. I'm going to add a little dot in his eyes, just so he doesn't look quite so strange. It looked a bit odd there. Oh, I haven't done the piece of paper. I need to do that as well. Okay. Just finish off these little bits around their ears. And I just kind of go pretty willy-nilly with this. There's no, it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I just kind of pop it down and hope for the best. Okay, I'm going to add a little dot to his eyes as well. Right, that little piece of paper, I'm going to use that CG020 as well, just to add a little hint of a shadow on there. And what else was I going to do? Do I want to do anything else? I think I want to do something to his eyes here. I think I'm going to add a bit of a shine mark. And on his beak. Okay. I think that's pretty much it. But what I might do, just add a little something else, is I'm going to add some glossy accents to his eye. So let's see if I can get this to work. Sometimes it's clogged up. I might have to get a pen to unclog it. I love using glossy accents. I've been using glossy accents a lot lately, especially to eyes like these kind of eyes where they're nice and big and that they look good with a bit of, it kind of adds a little bit of dimension. Oh, I don't know if it's going to come out. Am I unclogged it enough? Nope. I'll try again. Yeah, that kind of adds a little bit of a dimension, and it also adds some shine. I've got a bit that's stuck in there. Let's see if that's cleared it. I think I'm going to have to invest in some more because I'm running low. There it comes. So it takes about, well, I recommend leaving it for about 24 hours to dry. Try and put it somewhere without putting your fingers in it. I've done that before. That makes a right mess. But yeah, leave the glossy accents for about 24 hours in total, just to make sure they're completely set, and try and keep them flat as well. And yeah, I think I'm going to leave it at that. That is lessons done. Oh, I've got a little mark there. Let me fix that up. Hold on. Get my gel pen again. One of my markers has just kind of left a little mark on the page. And then I'm going to try and get rid of these printer lines. I don't know that it's going to cover up completely, but it's okay. So there we have it. My cute little lessons page. I thought that was kind of fun. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you did. Let me know if you want to see the rest of the series, the rest of this book done on camera. And yeah, I'd love to see you again. So please do subscribe to my channel so you can check out any other videos as well. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care, everybody. Bye.